Hey, if you guys want to learn how to make the project, go ahead and check out the link below. You can go to Skillshare and you'll get the full class project there. You're going to get 2 weeks free. It's super simple. Check out the description and the comment section for that link. So for our next widget, we are going to provide a chart that shows the crimes over time. So we can see the trend of any given time range and the occurrences there. So the best chart for this purpose is going to be our serial chart. And we're just going to go into the body section, say add element, and say serial chart. Then we're going to pick our layer. Yes, this is our layer. Perfect. Nothing is loaded here initially. You can see it's blank, but that's similar to what we experience when we're setting up other widgets from scratch. So off the bat, the one thing that we're going to have is the categories from, and we're going to say group values, and we're going to group by date. So when we say by date, we're going to be referencing per day, how many what's the count of the entries for a day. And we could just as easily say month and get the monthly stats, or year and get the yearly stats, and we can kind of see that here. So like in this year we have extremely high, whereas in 2014 and these other ones, this data set doesn't have a lot of counts for these dates, right? So we can see where our strongest instances are and where our weakest ones are. And let's go just today, and that'll be what we run with. So we'll say day, and let's just hit done. And I want to go ahead and lay this out real quick so that way we can put this in the bottom right here. Okay, cool. So we got something going on here, but this is definitely not the final version. The one thing I want to do though is I do want to immediately, just because of how little there is all the way back to 2001 and all the way up to 2020, is I just want to set this widget to affect the serial chart. And it's the only one, so we don't have to worry about the name. We know that that is a serial chart right there. And boom. Okay, so now this looks a little bit better in terms of just like the data is filtered down and it's in line with this chart. We were going to need to set that action anyways, so we're just sort of getting ahead of things. Okay, let's go back into configuring this widget. Okay, great. So we'll go right off the top. Let's go ahead and go to the chart setting. And one thing I'm going to do is kind of increase the font size so that these are a little bit bigger. I just sort of like when that's available. I'm going to make the text white, because I feel like it should be white and not that off gray. In the title, I'm just going to say crimes by day. And actually, instead of that putting it on the category axis, let's go and put that on in general. I'm going to go put that in the title on the top. And I'm actually going to put that in, just call this crimes by day serial chart. And this is going to work fine. Let's go ahead and we'll do some aesthetics here. I'm going to let's go ahead and with the labels, let's see if we can mess around with those real quick. So for the size, that's good. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I'm gonna try to take off some of these guides because they're cool and everything, but we don't necessarily need them in the value and the category axis. Let's see what happens when we just sort of, I can keep that bottom line in there, that's fine, but I am gonna make that white. It's gonna be more of a gray now. Make that a little bit thicker. That's cool. The grid, I'm gonna try to take the grid off. So this doesn't have those grid lines anymore, but I just think that looks kind of clean. You may not, you can keep those grid lines if you'd like. I just took them off for this purpose. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through to the series tab, and I'm just gonna go and say, let me take my line. I'm gonna get something like this. And then with that, I'm gonna add some fill opacity. So it's gonna kind of be a little bit of fill inside of here. And then I'm going to, for the colors, I'm gonna change that to be red. We got a little bit of a better color going on here. And one more thing I'm gonna wanna do, I think, let's see what tab it's in, because it's okay to not remember these things. I never do fully remember what tabs have what, but category axis, we go and turn on scroll bar. That will allow us to change this so that we can scroll, filter down. See, now we have a clearer picture here. Okay, cool. So let's see what that looks like. And yes, this is looking really good. It's exactly what we want. Awesome. So now this works. The only thing that we're going to want to change is we're going to want to modify this to be impacted by, let's say, the type of crime and all these pie charts. Let's say we want all these pie charts to action onto the serial chart widget. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll go to my actions and I'll point at the serial chart just for all of these. And all right, so let's see, for day, if I say arrest for crime true, that should filter this down. So this is the trend of actual arrests. And then if I said motor vehicle theft, then this would be just the arrests for motor vehicle theft. And then if I said, was it domestic? I guess there's only one domestic motor vehicle theft of the entire thing. If I go to false, that's basically all of them. That's pretty cool. So see, we're getting a little bit of filtering going on here. Now, if I change this to filter the map, that could be interesting. So let's go ahead and do that. Filter and point at the map. So let's see now what happens if I bring this down. Oh, okay, so now if I select this day, it will filter the map. So that's how you select this. I'm pretty sure there's like a control or an alt. Yeah, it's control. If you hold down control, you can select multiple days within that time frame. If you just want to select like these 2 days of the week, then it would affect the results shown on the map. And it looks like I can't see where those features are. So anyhow, we're assuming that those are in the map somewhere, but can't really see them. Don't really know why they do that. But maybe we just need to say, okay, so there we go. So now that's working. All right, so that basically does it for that widget. So moving on, we're gonna go and we're gonna add a couple more widgets. They're gonna add some depth of detail to the crime reporting that we're seeing.